Alright guys, welcome back again to my channel. This is Douglas Okwara. I know you're just seeing my hands right now, but this is a whole new kind of video. I've been thinking about making something like this. I asked this question on Instagram to see how many people wanted to see this video, and some people wanted to see how I make or how I fry my eggs over here. Oh, that came out wrong. How I fry eggs over here, how I make them, how my mom taught me, right? So this is just the standard Nigerian way of making eggs, frying eggs. I mean, if you're tired of always boiling your eggs, it's much better to just fry them, right? It tastes better. It's also good for weight loss if you think about it. If you're trying to lose weight and you're thinking about good foods to add to your diet, you might as well add this one. But it's very crucial that you know how much the volume or amount of oil to put into the pan, to fry the eggs. So because fat and oil can be really it's a huge determinant factor when it comes to losing weight, when it comes to the amount of calories you're consuming. So just putting that out there, if you're looking for a new recipe or something to add to your diet, you might as well start making this one and add it to your diet. You like it. It's pretty easy, it's pretty quick to make this, to fry these eggs. So let's start. So I've got everything set up here. Basically, I've got my pan, quote unquote. I don't have a pan, so I mean, I do have a pan, but it's really dirty, so it's not mine, it's my landlord's. I don't want to use it, so I always use this big ass pot over here to make the pan to fry the eggs. And it's very important that you use like a pan that's coated with whatever this is, to prevent the eggs from sticking to the pan. So otherwise, if you're frying the eggs, you're gonna have to be scraping them off the pan, and it's a lot of work. And if you don't want to burn the eggs, right? So it's always good to use a non-stick pan. Okay, very important. And I've got my cutting board, quote unquote. Hey, if you're a student, okay, there are some things that you don't necessarily need. You might as well improvise, right? So this is my cutting board, and I use it to eat as well. Okay, this is where I'm going to chop the things that I need. I've got, what else do we need? We've got an onion here. I already cut some of it. I already prepared something before this video. So, and I've got some tomatoes here as well. I mean, a fresh tomato. That's all you need. So onions, tomato, and we've got oil here. Vegetable oil. You can use canola, you can use whichever kind of oil, but if you're trying to lose weight, you can try using olive oil instead of vegetable oil. Okay, what else do we got here? I've got salt. Okay, I've got a year's worth of salt there, and pepper. I use ignore the label here, this is for something else, but I use cayenne pepper. You can get this anywhere from a grocery store, cayenne pepper or whatever kind of pepper you want to use. But okay, so that's about everything, guys. So we're gonna start by cutting these guys. Okay, well, first of all, you have to wash it, but let's wash it first. Okay, now after washing them, you cut these up. Okay, there's a kind of way that I cut them, and if you are going to, you know what, I forgot to add eggs. Shit. Okay, another important ingredient that I forgot to mention here are the eggs. Okay, we need the eggs to fry the eggs, obviously. So, man, I'm starving over here. So I'm gonna be frying about 8 eggs in total. So 8 freaking eggs. Okay, so we're gonna start off by cutting the tomato now. Right now I've already cut them up, washed them. There's a certain way that I like to cut the tomatoes. and the onions. So just watch. I like to cut them in teeny tiny bits. Okay, if you see how I do it, and I make it really fast so you don't spend so much time doing this. So just cut them in really tiny bits. No large chunks or anything like that. We don't want that. I like to remove the grain part. I don't like it. So chop that into teeny tiny bits. Okay. Now for 8 eggs. I think I might need more tomatoes, so I'm just gonna cut half of this again. Reserve the other one for another meal. So I'm gonna cut this one up as well. Chop, chop, chop. Okay, now the tomatoes are done. Now you see how small they are. I don't know if you can see them properly, but you see they're really small. Okay, now we're gonna cut the onions the same way you cut the tomatoes. That's how you cut the onions, right? Teeny tiny bits. See that? The way the onions are layered, you see once you cut them, they're tiny, small, teeny onions. That's what we want, okay? If you make it large, then it's gonna be a problem if you're trying to eat the eggs. So we want the onions as small as possible. Okay. Now that's done. See, it didn't take me, took me less than about 10 seconds or so, but whatever. Now that's done. Okay, time for the next step. Now we've got a bowl and we're gonna break these eggs and put them in the bowl. Okay. Okay, so just crack them up. All right. All right, so now we've got about 8 eggs in here. What you need next is a teaspoon, okay, very small spoon. All right, so we're gonna measure about half a teaspoon of salt. So that's half of it. You put that in here. You don't want it to be too salty. Okay, or maybe add a little bit because it's 8 eggs. So another half a teaspoon of salt again. Okay, so add that in there. That should be enough. And then we're gonna add about 2 full teaspoonfuls. So we're gonna add about 2 full teaspoons of cayenne pepper, right? So that's roughly 1 right there. And well, if you don't want to make it 2, if you don't want to add 2 because it's gonna be spicy, I like it spicy, so maybe add half of it, a little bit there, and that should be enough. Okay, but I'm gonna add more because I like it spicy. All right, now that's in there. Okay, so next up you grab an egg turner or egg mixer, whatever, you know. I don't have that fancy one that you guys have, or the one that's electronic ones where you just press a button and it start rotating, you know. So I'd rather use this for fork. It's cheaper, right? So grab that over here, just start turning. Turn. Just keep doing that. Okay. Mix that up together. Now if you notice there are peppers on the side of the bowl, so just grab a spoon, right? Maybe use Use the small teaspoon I had before. Mix that up. Put that in there. Collect the sides. Okay. Now that's in there. Okay, so now mix that up again. It doesn't take a long time to mix it together. Okay. It's mixing up nicely. Okay, that's about it. It looks good, right? Now, we're gonna make sure the pan is dry. All right. Now, if you look at it, it looks dry enough, right? So we're gonna place that up on the hot plate and turn it up. We're gonna heat the pan for about 10 seconds, 5 seconds, whatever. So you grab. First of all, we're gonna add the oil. So if you're trying to lose weight, be careful about every time. Be careful about the amount of oil that you add to the pan, okay? So if you're trying to lose weight, I would say add this much. Okay, that should be all. That should be enough. You just want to make sure the pan is all greased up, right? Okay, do that around, put that on again. So that was about, I would say two tablespoons of oil should be enough to make 8 eggs, okay, if you're trying to lose weight. All right, so you add that in there. Shake it up. Shake it up nicely, get it around. It's getting hot now. Throw this stuff in there. Now, don't worry, you can put your hand in there. It's not, and also it's very good. It's better to have a rubber spoon so you don't scratch your pot, right, or your pan. But I don't have a rubber spoon right now, so we're gonna use this one. So don't be scared, it's not gonna touch your hand. Okay, now I'm gonna turn on the fan. I'm gonna turn on the fan here. All right, let's just let that fry for about 2 minutes. Let the onions and the tomatoes fry up in there. All right. Now you just keep turning it. Like I said, the oil is never gonna touch your hand. So you don't have to be scared if you don't like oil. The hot oil is not gonna touch your hand at all. Okay, just let that fry for about 2 minutes. We're almost at 2 minutes, I'm guessing. So I don't have a timer. If you want to set a timer, you can go ahead and do that, but I don't set timers. At least not for something that I do all the time, right? Right? Just let that fry for a minute, a little bit more. All right, so now you grab your eggs again, stir it before you apply it, before you put it in the pan or the pot. Okay, stir it again vigorously. And then you just apply it in there in a spiral motion, okay? I don't know why we'd apply it this way, but you just gotta make it spiral for some reason. All right, now that's in there. Okay, get out. Making sure that no eggs are left behind. Make sure there's no residue, okay? You don't have to. I'm just being me, basically. So make sure you grab everything in there. There you go. Okay. Now just wait a little bit there, and then you start turning it. Okay. Otherwise, the eggs that are frying at the bottom, they're gonna burn. So just stir it so the oil mixes with the eggs, and then once the heat touches the eggs, right, it starts frying. So just keep turning it. Get the sides. Here, let me grab the phone here, so the camera, so you can see clearly. So you just see the sides, turn it around, all right? You do that. Okay. I'm using my left hand here. I'm not left-handed, but just for the purpose of the video, I'm using my left hand, you know, grab all the sides. You see what I'm doing? And just keep stirring. Now, if you've noticed, the bottom is looking brown. Looks like it's burning. Okay, I'm gonna use my right hand now. So, you can see, yep. I'll just keep doing that. Grab everything out there. Okay. Now we lower the heat, and then you just keep turning. Keep it going. Okay. Now, see the way I'm turning it now? Doing it, so we're breaking up the eggs. I don't want them to be in large chunks. So, turn it that way. Okay. Look at that, it's starting to look good now. And I can smell the pepper. I can smell how spicy it is. It makes me want to sneeze right now, but so yeah, just keep turning it, break it up, and you just have to keep turning it this way, right? You see the motion? Okay. Fry that up nicely. It shouldn't be too salty. Hopefully not. Hate it when it's so salty. All right, that's looking good. It's looking nice right there. Just there we go. Now, if you think about it, you can use these eggs for like a bread sandwich. You put that in between the bread, right? Sliced bread. If you're losing weight, I would suggest you use whole grain bread. Okay, don't use white bread. So use that with the eggs. Or if you're not losing weight, if you're trying to gain weight, well, you might as well use white bread. All right, so that's what I use all the time. I use white bread. Well, not all the time. I use whole grain sometimes, not all the time. It barely has any calories in there. But white bread, yeah, I like white bread. So I use that with the eggs, or you can add it to your white rice. Just if you've got white rice and some sauce, you can add the eggs on top of the white rice. You know, what else can you use the eggs for? It's mostly, for me, I mostly use it just for bread, right? A bread and a hot chocolate every morning, you know? Now look at it, it's starting to look drier, right? It's not it doesn't look soft anymore, it looks dry. So just keep frying it until you feel like it's enough, right? Just keep turning it. If you don't turn it, it's gonna burn, so we do not want any. And when you're doing this, don't leave it and go to the living room to go watch TV or whatever. You're gonna burn your house. So always make sure you're watching it and turning it, right? Skip Netflix for now, just focus on this, right? Get it done. I'll see it's looking good. We're almost done. We're not done already. Okay, that's looking good. If you're using this kind of spoon, make sure, try not to scratch or hit the edge sides. Okay, and when you're turning, make sure you don't scratch the bottom. I'm making sure I'm not scratching the bottom at all. Okay, all I'm doing, I'm turning the eggs. I'm not scratching the bottom of the pot. That's the way I do it. Okay, now it's looking good. Turn that off. We're done. All right. So I'm gonna taste what I've made. See if it's good. Okay. Guys, this is good. I'll give it an 8 out of 10 out of all the eggs that I have made so far. Okay, this is an 8 out of 10. The salt is okay. I hate it when it's so salty, so I'm okay with it not being as salty as I expected it to be. You can always add some salt on top if you want, but if you're gonna do that, make sure you spray it around, not just concentrated on a certain part, right? Because if you notice, these eggs are already dry, so the salt is not going to be spread evenly if you put it in one spot. So make sure you spray it different, like all around the eggs, all around the pan, I mean. But we're okay with salt. I mean, if you think about it, humans consume a large amount of salt each day based on whatever they eat, right? So I'm okay with this one not being salty or being as salty as I wanted it to be, but it is what it is. I'll give this an 8 out of 10. Okay, now we're done. We're done here. I'm gonna taste that again. No, it's good. Okay guys, this rounds up the video. I'm glad you stayed through the end. I don't know if it's just, let me know in the comments if you guys want to see videos like this where I explain how to make some kind of foods that you can add to your recipe. You know, if you're looking for something new to try, just let me know if you want to see more videos like this. I don't know if this was interesting, but well, if you get to taste it, if you get to eat this right now with a sandwich, you'll know why I do this all the time, why I prefer frying the eggs. But you know, if you just like your eggs being boiled, right, you can just leave it that way, just boil it up, take that to work or school, whatever, and you know, throw that in your mouth quickly and you've got your protein there. But I like my eggs fried, especially with plantains, with fried plantains. But fried plantain is it's a whole lot of work compared to this. We'll leave that for another day. But you know, this is perfect. But let me know, please guys, let me know in the comments if you want to see more videos like this. I would really appreciate your opinions or your thoughts of this, and let me know what you suggest I do or add to this egg recipe. If you have a better recipe, if you're Nigerian watching this, you know, I'm sure you know how to do this already. So if you know a better way, just let me know in the comments. That would be much appreciated. So thanks for watching. Please go ahead and subscribe if you haven't. I'll try my best with uploading as frequently as possible. I don't want to give myself a set time anymore because it's just gonna add so much stress to my life, but trying to reduce the stress that I have. But yeah, hit that subscribe button please if you haven't, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.